Good evening. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you. Hi. Y'all enjoying your day so far?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We are going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Hang in there with us.
Hello.
Some of us love the camera.
Yes, that would be moi. Yes.
We're going to wait about 60 seconds and then we'll get started. Thank you all so much for being here. We're excited that you decided to join us.
That's my own.
All right, family. It is 6:01, so we are going to go ahead and get started. We are super excited that you all have decided to join us for our very, very first parent power up session of the summer. Yay! This is where you have come to allow us to share with you and grow with you and learn with you as we unleash our power together to grow our children in literacy. Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Devanya Govan Hunt. I'm the president of the Black Child Development Institute Charlotte affiliate, where we have been serving Mecklenburg County and surrounding counties for several years under the mission statement to improve and advance the quality of life for Black and Brown children and their families. We have done so for the past few years under several different umbrellas. Those umbrellas are literacy, health and wellness, family empowerment, equity, and delivering on the promise of high quality early education. I am here this evening to share with you with one of my colleagues, one of our board members, our FEP specialist, Imani Coleman, and she'll share just a little bit about herself in a minute. But she has lots of exciting things to share with you. We are here to share about a tool that we are super excited about, we are very confident in, and we are absolutely positive that you'll feel the same way about this tool. If you don't mind, before Miss Imani takes the floor, I'm going to ask that you mute your microphones, and that'll help us with the background noise. This will be a very informal session, so if you have a burning question and you need to ask it now, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Otherwise, please use the chat feature and type your question in that chat, and there will be pauses throughout the evening, throughout our time together, to where we will stop and address your questions. So I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Yeah? All right, well, let's do it. Let's get started.
Let's power up. Good evening, everyone. My name is Imani Coleman. As Dr. Hunt said, I am the Family Empowerment, FEP, also known as FEP, facilitator for BCDI Charlotte. I can no longer say I'm new to the city, as Dr. Hunt has made it clear. I'm no longer new. I got here 3 years ago. So I came here from DC, where I have been an educator for 25 plus years. So I am very glad to be here with you, glad to share all of this knowledge with you. And I'm ready for us to get powered up, So let's go to our power levels and see where we're going. We want to talk tonight about raising good readers and getting a reading checkup. That's how we're going to raise. That's one of the ways we can raise a good reader. But before we do that, I need us to make sure that we get into this space. I need us to come to the space. I need us to take a look at something. But when you got on here, I saw a couple of people here before 6 o'clock. We were ready, but it does not negate that you came here before doing your regular routine. So if we can come to the space and bring ourselves in the space. And the way we can do that is just by simply closing your eyes if you can. I saw one person driving, so don't do that. If you can, please close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. And take another deep breath in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. And just find yourself here. It's interesting to find yourself here when you're still in your home, but we're on Zoom. So if you can just focus in on where we are. The reason we do that is just because you start to think about all the 1,000 things that you have to do, that you've been doing, that you need to do, that you didn't get done today. And guess what, y'all? It's all right. It is really okay. We will be able to get to it. It's still gonna be there. When this is over tomorrow, at some point, it will be okay. So in that, now that we're all here in this space together, I want to welcome you again. And I'd like for you to just take a look at this proverb. We always start with an African proverb when we're doing family empowerment. It's very important for us to understand where we have been in order for us to understand where we're going. And so if any of you have ever heard of the Sankofa bird, they're looking back to see where we've been, in that way we are able to move forward, and almost like a glide, because we know where we've been, we know what has happened. And so with that, I'd like for us to take a look at this proverb and just settle on it. Keep it in your head as we walk through tonight's session. Knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. Knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested at all. We can see that. We've seen it. We've seen it literally in the garden, and we've seen it with our children. So we need to just kind of take that in and make sure that, I always try to use it, carry it right up under your arm, right while we're walking, because you're going to see some of these words pulled out and how and where we are cultivating. So let's see what it looks like to raise a good reader. Where are we going to raise a good reader? Tonight we want to discuss how we do this. What does that look like? Oh my, I am not a teacher. Yes, you are. First of all, you knew you were a teacher the day you had your child. You are your child's first teacher. You are your child's greatest teacher. They watch everything you do. They absorb. They see it all. Before they come to school and stand before or sit in front of this person who has been trained to teach them this curriculum, they're watching you. They see you. They understand you. You are the teacher. So we want to talk about what it looks like to teach them some other things and making sure that we're doing, especially in this climate. Who knew that we would be here at all? Well, in a recent article that was published by McKinsey and Company, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Hunt, but am I right? Look at McKinsey and Company. It states that our children will return to school in August up to 11 months behind. And at no fault of theirs, at no fault of anyone. And who knew that we would be having this, I don't even know what to call it, pandemic. I'll just leave it at that. Who knew that we would be having this pandemic? And so this 11-month loss puts us even further back than we can even imagine. The children who will be most affected by this COVID loss that is coming, or that has come, appear to be in the lower grades. And I sometimes think about that and equate it to, I'm just learning to read if I'm in these lower grades. I am just figuring out all these things that are involved in becoming a good reader. And now I've been snatched out of the classroom and I don't have that anymore. So they are more likely to become better learners throughout their school years and beyond when they become good readers in the early stages. Gotta start early. Just like we say, children are sponges. We know that that's the old adage. Everybody said children are sponges, and it is very true. They are soaking it up. This is when they're able to get it best. But learning to read is hard work for children. It is very hard work for children. And so, fortunately, a lot of research has been done over the years that have allowed us to look at the steps and things that we need in order to raise good readers. What does this involve? What does it look like? What do I need to do? Once again, in our minds, we're parents, not teachers. But again, I tell you, you are the teacher. You are the teacher. So raising good readers, becoming a good reader involves so much. Here's a list, if you will, in front of you of only 4 things. And these 4 things encompass so much as we move forward. One of the first things that we look at is language development. All communication has 2 aspects: what we say to others, how we express ourselves, expressive language, and what we hear and understand are 2 different things. Using language in conversation, when we have that back and forth, many times we ask children questions that involve answers like yes and no, but we have to involve them in a back and forth conversation that will allow them to have more conversation, allow them to speak to what it is that you're asking. We also talk about the sounds of the spoken language. What are the children hearing? Are they hearing whole words? What are you expressing? Listening to sounds of spoken language, learning and using new words. When we talk about learning new words, we tend to just average every day. We look at it and we say, oh, that's so nice. But what is another word for nice? She's so pretty. What's another word for pretty? Just making them think, making ourselves think, because we ourselves as adults become very comfortable with using those quick go-to words. So in this, believe me, you're helping your child, but you're also working with yourself and having yourself to think differently. The second step that we want to look at is listening and responding to stories and read alouds. We have become the bedtime story people of the world. We'll read a bedtime story, read it all the way through, maybe show the child a picture, and then maybe they'll stay awake. And we don't ask questions, but we need to ask questions. And we have to become accustomed to just, you know, reading, asking. Look at the pictures, asking. What if we just stopped and did that instead of just reading and asking them, what is it that you just heard? What do you see on this page? What do you think is going to happen next? All of that is important. You can also go to the ABCs of Active Reading on the Read Charlotte website, and they'll give you more information on what that looks like. Oh, Dr. Hunt has put it here for you, readcharlotte.org, the ABCs of Active Reading. Well, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful site. Next, we want to look at letter knowledge. I hear people all the time say, should I get the magnet letters and put them on the refrigerator? Yes, you should, but you can't stop there. What does letter knowledge look like? Recognizing and naming the letters of the alphabet is knowing the letters have names and they're related to sounds. A, apple, all of that. If I can look on here, and we know sometimes most of our children can look and say, oh, this is an A, this is a B, but what does it connect to? Also knowing that the same letter can look different. I mean, uppercase and lowercase. Look at the uppercase A and the lowercase a look totally different. And we don't think about it as adults because we're used to just writing either one. But for a child, I've been looking at an uppercase A forever. And, oh, I know that's an A, but you present me with a lowercase a, and I become confused. Rightfully so, because I don't know the two. Last but not least, we want to look at approaches to learning. Reading needs to be automatic. It really, really needs to be automatic for us. Recognizing words, becoming easy. How do we do that? When we just look at something, becoming comfortable with it. We know that sometimes as adults, we're not comfortable with reading. We're not comfortable with recognizing words if someone presents you with something. So we really need to make sure that our children are in constant routine of reading inside the house, reading outside the house. It's one of the things that I know that's been happening since this quarantine. We've been ordering things and those boxes are coming. Read the box. Yes, all the ordering in the world. Read the box. Read the box. This is a very good thing for them to do. Read the box. Read the receipt that came in there. Amazon has been in a hurry. They've been putting gift receipts and everything. Read that. It says the same thing, but have them read it over and over again. This is good stuff for them to learn and to read. And so we have to be able to use these strategies to help raise good readers. But that's just a start to raising a good reader. What else is there out there to raise a good reader? That we're going to next, but I have a question. I wanted to know if there are any questions, rather. Anybody have any questions? Because I know I've been moving.
Ms. Coleman, there was not a question. However, Ms. Ellison did mention how important it is to I recognize that there are different fonts, especially for our early readers.
Yes, there are. And they can get quite fancy and make it even more confusing. Thank you for that. Yes, especially now that we're using in this world of technology. Even though we try to make sure that it's in specific fonts, just so that that does not happen. It often, that is very true. So what does it look like for us to raise a good reader? Our education system, as we talked about before, was not built to manage this extended shutdown imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. We weren't ready for this at all. So, but great efforts have been put forth by teachers and administrators and parents, most definitely, to keep learning alive. And they still aren't able to provide the quality of education that is delivered in the classroom. It just doesn't happen. It's very hard, for me to stay focused here. When planning this for you, I was like, I can't have 1,000 slides because by 987, I'm going to lose majority of the people. So it is not, that's just not how it works for us. So how do we, the village, the families, the parents, cultivate this garden of knowledge? We start by finding out our scholars level on something called the Reading Checkup. And Dr. Hunt will show you that page for the Reading Checkup. I'm sure you've seen this around. You've seen it on Facebook. We're here. Let's check up. What better time than now to check up and see where our students are? We start by finding out their reading level. Read Charlotte and Learning Ovations collaborated and created a community initiative to encourage families to use the free online home literacy coach. So what better way to do it than to find out where our scholars are? Where are they? You know, they got snatched out of school. The teacher said they were here when we left, but now what has happened? We do this. We find this out by getting our scholars a reading checkup. How do we get a reading checkup? What does that look like? Raising a good reader with reading checkup. What does that look like? Let's look at the Reading Checkup site. It's coming. So in the meantime, I'll talk to you about what the Reading Checkup site will do, how it will help you, because it's very important at this time. So understanding the risk that many of our children in the Mecklenburg County face of falling behind due to this, due to the closures during the COVID-19 health crisis. Read Charlotte and Learning Ovations created, ta-da, the Reading Checkup. Here it is. What we now know as the COVID slump, coupled with the summer slide that many children already experienced during the summer months, had to be addressed. And this is how it was addressed. This is how it can be addressed. It will be addressed. The goal of the Reading Checkup was to provide our families in the Mecklenburg County with a tool that will help to combat this COVID slump and summer slide. The Reading Checkup serves many purposes. If you take a look here, we can start, you start by having your scholar take 2 quick quizzes here in the yellow. 2 quick online quizzes will reveal your child's reading level. Just that fast, will reveal your child's reading level. Once you find out your child's reading level, from there, you'll learn which specific reading skills your child should focus on. Not just anything. Read this book, read here for 30 minutes a day, do this. No, very specific skills according to what your scholar is in need of. Nothing out of just pulling things out of thin air. After that, sorry, you then have access to recommendations for home activities. I've gone through these activities 1,000 times. I've even done a few, I have to say, done a few of the home activities that are perfectly aligned. These activities are perfectly aligned with the skills that your student will need. So as they say, there's never been a better time. Never been a better time. The site is very easy to navigate. Here, get your quiz results. Here, you access your quizzes on number 1. Number 2, you access your activities. You dive right in. It takes you there. It takes you in and lets you know how much. Dr. Hunt, can you go back up for 1 second? Because I forgot my favorite part. Oh, the tool is that part, that free 99 is always my favorite part. This tool is completely free and for families with children with kindergarten through fourth grade. Completely free. Free 99 is my favorite thing. So scroll up one more, just a little bit more, the other one down. Yeah. The other thing that I really appreciated about this site was, as it says, whether you have 30 minutes or 2 hours, we all know that time is of the essence. We are working, we are having our daily routines, we're doing all these things, and so need to um, we need to make sure that we have the time. I'm seeing a question that says if it gives reading levels, and I missed the rest of it. Let me look. The reading, yes, it does give you the reading level of your scholar and the age grade equivalent. Yes, it does. It does all of that. It will give you the equivalent of that, and then it will give you adult managed activities, and it will give you child managed activities. So all of it, it breaks it all down for you, and you'll be able to get all of those things. And it is specifically, once again, for your scholar based on their level of reading. Based on their level of reading. There are frequently asked questions here. The facts are very good. They're very helpful. It explains more in detail what it is if you need that. What grade levels is the resource intended for? As I said, rising kindergarten to rising fourth grade, meaning they will be, when we return to school, however we do that, they will be in kindergarten and they will be in the fourth grade when we return. It also talks about the research behind the literacy coach. And the other thing that I've heard a lot about, I'm outside of the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Is that going to tell me? So yeah, tell your cousins, tell your sisters, tell all your family members. Um, and so, what does grade equivalent mean? Reading skills really start to develop when a child starts school, but like, how does that look? How is it scored? What am I doing with that? My child is in the second grade, but his grade equivalent for reading may be first grade. So that just means we just have to help him move forward. Meaning, then the tools are there in order to help him move forward. So we have to take all of that. And so that's how we understand how all of this works and all the things that are available here to us. Don't help your child take the quiz. If you couldn't hear me, don't help your child. Let them take it so that we can really see where they are. You won't be in the classroom, Mom. You won't be in the classroom, Dad. Give them the opportunity to do this. Give them the opportunity to do this. So from there, we know that the reading checkup is there to work. Really, there are three focuses on the reading checkup that we want to look at. And I want to make sure that we bring it up so that you can see exactly what they are. And so the three things that we focus on in the reading checkup are identifying the reading level of your scholar by doing the 2 quick quizzes, making sure we do the 2 quick quizzes, identifying specific reading skills for that scholar, how much time you need to spend on that, what activities you need to do to make sure that you address those things. Here are the 3 things: identify, provide. IIP. I always try to remember stuff that way. Identify your rising K through fourth graders reading level using the 2 quizzes, identifying specific reading skills your child needs to work on once they've taken the 2 quizzes, and providing recommendations for the activities that you can do. Can you show where we can find the reading level? All right, on your, yeah, we can take you to that. Dr. Hunt, can you take us to so we can be able to show you what it looks like once you get to the grade equivalent, once you get to the activities. Therefore, and like I said, some of them are adult managed and some of them are child managed. So here's the difference. The activities for your child. And we haven't taken a quiz yet, but here's adult managed. Here they are. Your grade equivalents are here, 0 to 0.9 to 0.1. Grade equivalent 0.0 to 0.9. Grade equivalent 1.0. So they have it all the way up to 3.0. Those are your grade equivalents. If you click on any of those grade equivalents, Dr. Hunt, it will take you to an activity.
Real quick, Ms. Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
So what the reading checkup will do, friends, I've been in the classroom all day, guys. So I'm like, hey, friends, what the reading checkup will do, friends, is actually give you an age equivalent and it'll give you a grade equivalent. And so after your child takes those quizzes, and this is not one of those sessions where we walk through step by step by step, but if you want to hang out afterwards and ask specific questions so we can help you get started, then we'll be more than happy to do that. But after your child takes those 2 quizzes, you will get a grade equivalent and you'll also get an age equivalent. You'll take that information and you'll go to the Access the Activities page and match the grade equivalent that you got from your child's quiz results and then match it here. Once you click on that grade equivalent, then you'll actually find a list of activities that's divided into time segments. And we'll talk more about that beautiful pie chart, the beautiful chart that you'll get to kind of help us divide up our day. As a matter of fact, Ms. Coleman will talk about some of the sessions that Read Charlotte offers, 30-minute sessions at various times throughout the day to help us get a better understanding of how to match the grade and the age equivalent, and also how to break down that pie chart and understand what these 15 minutes here mean, what this 20 minutes here means. But that's how you find those activities. They've done a beautiful job at incorporating various videos and additional resources into the activities page so that you don't find yourself clicking all over the place and having to have 1,300 tabs open at once. It's very parent friendly, very convenient, and we're absolutely 100% sure access those quizzes and your child's completed those 2 quizzes that Ms. Coleman keeps referring to, that you'll find this an absolute delight. One of the things that we've experienced over the past couple of school years and up until March are those questions that parents come to us with trying to figure out how to get this information from their classroom teachers. They want to know exactly what their child needs help with in order to help them grow their literacy. What specific skill do they need in order to make sure that they're moving the needle forward in literacy? And sometimes it's difficult to get that information. Imagine what kind of power you have in the palm of your hand once you've accessed this information, once you've given your child those 2 quizzes and you've repeated those quizzes every 4 to 6 weeks or so. You repeated those quizzes and you see exactly what your child needs in order to be a stronger reader, a better reader. Not only will you have those activities in the palm of your hand, but you walk back into the school year in August like a straight G, because you know exactly where your child's strengths are, you know where their challenges are, and you know exactly what questions to ask your child's classroom teacher in order to keep pushing the needle forward.
Okay. So are we going to be able to go to the, will we be able to see a pie chart from here? I don't think. So we want to definitely make sure that we have this and keep it and consistently work with it, so that when we do return to the classroom, we are returning our children there with prepared. We already know what's coming. We already know what's going to be, and that's how they're going to be thinking, but we want your child to be, your scholar to be that much more prepared and ready for reentering. There are always going to be a lot of other questions about reentering. So to release this part of it, my child knows where they are. They already ready that part. So now they can, we can try to get through the other pieces of what it's going to look like when we go back into the classroom. What the plans are, what their fears are, what your fears are. Just making sure that we address that, because we don't want to come loaded down with all of that at the same time. So the reading checkup is really, really helpful, very helpful. And it will definitely be an easy tool for you to use with your scholars, and be able to get the information you need in order to get them to the place they need to be in that's going to make them comfortable. So with that, how do you help? We talked about some of the things that were parent powered, but where does that take you from there? So parent participation in the reading checkup is important. There are some things that are adult managed, as we showed you before. They are adult managed, which means that you need to be working with your scholar in an effort to get through that activity. There are also some things that are child managed. They will be able to do on their own. But we still need you to kind of put your eyes on it to make sure that they've completed it. Another way that I found is very important when we talk about parent participation, encourage your student, if you can, encourage your child to put their completed activities up around the house so they can see their progress, see where they're going, see where they've been, back to our Sankofa birds, see where they've been, and then see where we're going, what it is that I've already done, what skills have I acquired, what am I going to already be able to do? And so that is very important, to make sure that you put that up. Technology. Nahad, you had a question?
Yes, Ms. Coleman, sorry to interrupt again, but Sonia just made a really, really great point, and we want to just kind of go back a minute about the reading level.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a fact sheet that Ms. Coleman pointed out on the Reading Checkup site that kind of explains the difference between the results that you would get from CMS in terms of reading levels and what the Reading Checkup is actually providing. So this is not a tool that's used to judge or grade your kid or judge your child in terms of their where they are in literacy. It's more a tool used to help you better understand what their strengths and their challenges are, so that you will find the just right activity to make the difference or to push the needle in your home to help your child grow in literacy. And so that fact sheet that you will see on the Reading Checkup website is a really good tool, a really good resource, and I'll put it in the chat again for those who want to access it. If you still have questions about the difference between the grade level equivalent and the age equivalent versus the reading level that you would get from your classroom teacher, please hang out so that we can better explain that and then kind of show you the differences between the two. We don't want you to stress out. This is not one of those things where you stress out. We're not judging kids, right? And we're definitely not judging your ability to be able to, snatch these activities out of the air. This is simply a tool that's meant to be an accessory to help us, right? Identify exactly how to spend our time, which activities would be the most helpful, the most useful for us during the small bits of time that we have during our busy lives to help grow our children in literacy.
So yes, it is definitely a tool to help, and not to determine, as I pointed out before, you may just see that your child is in one grade and their level is something different, but this is to help. This is the objective here is to provide assistance and to help move them forward. So the parent participation is really, really important, again, and making sure that We do the adult managed activities with our scholars, that we kind of keep an eye on what they're doing when they have the child managed activities, and see if you can put some of this stuff up so that they can see their progress and see where they're going, where they've been. What technology is needed is always the question. And we don't have a laptop in our house. Guess what? It's all good. Not having one is fine. Earlier today, I had to tell y'all this. Dr. Hunt is going to laugh. I was practicing and I said, all you need is a telephone. Yes, that does tell my age. Instead of a cell phone. So yes, all you need is a cell phone, a smartphone. A smartphone will help you. The literacy coach is accessible through a web browser, through the readingcheckup.org. And you would just be able to click on that. The minimum technology required, again, is the smartphone. The home literacy coach quizzes can be taken on the smartphone. And BCDI Charlotte will provide you with emails if you hang out, if you have other questions. Then we'll be glad to answer those if you need assistance. If you've already been in and you still have questions about the technology piece, we'll be here for you. Supplies, supplies, supplies. You keep telling me, Ms. Coleman, about all these activities. Well, they asked me to be creative. They asked me to cut something. We don't have scissors in our house. Guess what? We're bringing it to you. We have those things for you. BTDI Charlotte will provide you with the supplies you need to complete the activities: pencils, crayons, glue, all that stuff. And I'll give you more details about that lovely event. That's going to be fun. Lovely, lovely event. It's called the BTDI Charlotte Curbside Literacy Event. Woo, couldn't get that out. And I'll share more about those events after once we get to that slide. Are there any questions or comments, concerns? No. Okay, so let's see where we're going from here. We want to make sure that we have all of our information that we need. So let's look back. What did we learn? What did we talk about? I was talking fast. Dr. Hunt was coming in. There were questions, all of that. First things first, get your child a reading checkup when the time is now. Now, now, now. Get your child a reading checkup now. It's important. It's important. It's important. The other thing, create a literacy-rich home. How do we do that? Well, we talked about it. And guess what? Whether you know it or not, kind of have it already going in your household. You have magazines, you have things up on the refrigerator. Like I said, I know y'all been shopping since COVID, whatever, quarantine. Yeah, you got those boxes in your house. Have them read those things. All of these things. Another way that I always talk about a literacy rich home, I never understood why my mother would have the closed captions on the TV. For one, my grandmother couldn't hear, but it also encouraged us to read. It encouraged us to read. So, you know, she never said, well, your grandmother can't hear. She was, read what's happening, read what's happening. So it made us constantly read. And now I find myself almost sometimes putting the captions on, but for my mother. But yeah, so creating a literacy rich home is so important, so important. When you ask about sometimes some of the smallest things, like using those magnetic letters on your refrigerator. Yep, because guess what? They can create words from those letters. All of that is so, so rich and so important. You have things on your walls that they want to read, all of that. But the first and foremost that we want to make sure you do, get that reading checkup. Get that reading checkup. Infuse literacy experiences into your scholars' daily routines. We're driving to camp or we're driving to Chick-fil-A. What do we see on the way? Billboards, signs, read them. Read them. Get to Chick-fil-A. Hey, let's read the menu. How much does it cost? What is it that you're wanting? Is it the number one? Is it the number two? You have to put it in front of them. Make their lives rich with literacy, making your life rich with literacy. So it's very, very important that we do that in order for us to create this space and make and raise these great readers, because that's what we're doing, raising great readers. So what's coming up? It's a lot of stuff coming up for everybody. So the Reading Checkup Live, I joined one of these. I had the best time in the Reading Checkup Live. And I mean, they were on it. They were animated. I felt like, oh, wait a minute. I might go take the quiz. And so I probably have taken it like twice. So the Reading Checkup Live is on the readingcheckup.org website. They have one coming, and this is a really good thing for me that I saw. It's at different points in the day. Help everybody schedule. If you got to be at work early, they have a 4 o'clock. If you can't do the evening and you go to work at a night shift, they have the 10 o'clock. So June 23rd at 4 p.m. If you go to readingcheckup.org, you'll be able to go to the live, get the tickets for the Reading Checkup Live. June 25th is at 10 a.m. That's their next Reading Checkup Live. So they have other ones coming up in July as well. When you are on the readingcheckup.org site, you'll be able to go down to the bottom, and there's kind of like a ticker tape, and it tells you what days and what times those events are. The next thing, big thing, be ready for the BCDI Charlotte Curbside Literacy event. I'm excited about this, y'all. This is going to be so much fun. First of all, I like school supplies, and whether you know it or not, your kids do too. They love that stuff. They love scissors, they love glue, they love all that. So June 27th from 10 to 11 a.m. Be there, because we're not only giving away school supplies. Guess what else we're giving away? We are giving away gift cards. Food Lion gift cards. Who cannot stand to have a Food Lion gift card now? Because you know our children are not using their school stomachs. They stopped using school stomachs the day we got out of school. So Food Lion gift cards are on board. So the curb location is at the Food Lion at Cambridge Commons, 7920 Cambridge Commons Road. Please be there 10 to 11. We are giving out all those things. We're also giving printed information, the printed activities. If you feel like you're not able to print out any of those activities, but you want to do some, then we want to be able to make sure that we can do that for you. So I know y'all enjoyed this parent power up session. You did. So you want to come to the next one, but you got to be at the next one, because we're going to have a whole lot more to give you. So the parent power up session, the next one is July 6th. And it will be from 6 to 7. Yes, please come out and support. Yes, Karita, thank you. Please come out and support. So the parent power session is July 6th from 6 to 7. Please be here. Please join us. Ask questions. By then, you're going to be in the deep thick of this all. So you're going to have lots of questions, lots of comments, lots of thoughts about what it is that you're seeing, experiencing, how your child is experiencing it, all of that. So we're doing videos of the events. And so they'll be posted the week after the event. So we're going to show you how much fun we're having. And you want to be in a video. Everybody wants to be seen. I've noticed that during the COVID slide. So we need to, make sure we get here. So those are the things that are coming up. Do we have any questions?
We do not have any questions. However, Karita wants everyone to know that July 6th is her birthday. She thought she would just mention that. Sonia also reminded us that the Read Charlotte Reading Checkup live events are posted, videos of the events are actually posted online about a week following the event. So if you don't have time to kind of tune in when it's happening at the various times of day, you can always go back to the website and you'll be able to find those videos and get the same information that everybody else got. Ms. Coleman mentioned that we about our curbside event. We are really super excited about that because a lot of the work that BCDI Charlotte does is hands-on. We like to be in the room with you. We like to be able to high five you and vibe off of your energy. We think that's important for people, especially after we've been cooped up for the past few months, right? However, we want to stay safe and still respect and practice physical and social distancing recommendations and guidelines from the CDC. So that's why we're doing a curbside event. This is an opportunity for you to come out and get packets of material that will actually match the activities that Read Charlotte and Learning Ovations have come together and put together for us to be able to do and exercise with our children at home. We will also have books, lots and lots of books. There were lots of questions about reading levels and how to match the grade level equivalency with the reading level. We have lots of books. So we'll take all the guesswork out of it. Come out and see us. We'll show you how to match those things up. And also how to tune into what your child is interested in, right? You want to read what they're interested in. Have fun reading one. We're not going to stress over it. We're just going to have a really good time. Ms. Coleman also mentioned the gift cards. If you have not given, by the time the 27th comes around and you've not given your child a reading checkup yet, we're encouraging you to do that as soon as you click off or first thing in the morning. If you've not given your child a reading checkup yet through those 2 quizzes, or you have a neighbor that might have challenges or difficulty accessing the quizzes, come on out and see us. While you're shopping for groceries, we will actually have computers set up so we can give your child a checkup right there in the parking lot. We want to emphasize how important this is. BCDI Charlotte really, really, truly believes wholeheartedly the oft-quoted maxim that our parents are our children's first and most important teachers. We believe that with everything that we have. We stand on that. And so as an effort to operationalize this often quoted maxim, we want to make sure that we provide resources for parents to be able to unleash the power that they have in their hands, to remember the power that they hold right there in the palm of their hands. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we do everything we can to partner with other organizations, to be able to publicize tools that we believe in, that have been designed with the parent, with the home life, with the child's community in mind. And Read Charlotte has done exactly that. They've done exactly that. They have given us a tool, and a free tool at that, to be able to take into our homes and our living rooms and make sure that we can actually have what we need at our fingertips to push the needle forward. Literacy. You all know what kind of situation we are in Mecklenburg County when it comes to literacy, particularly 3rd grade literacy, proficiency. Unfortunately, it's like that across the state, right? But we're here in Mecklenburg County in North Carolina. We might not be able to fix the other states like right now, but we can start with our own children in our own homes. And Read Charlotte has given us this tool, a free tool that's very parent friendly, very easy to use, and it actually hits the nail on the head. So we encourage you, if you've not given your child a reading checkup yet, go to the site and get the checkup. Go get the checkup. You take your kid to the pediatrician, you take them to the dentist, right? You sometimes call your great auntie or your grandma in another state and ask them about how to check up on this behavior that they're displaying in the household. Listen, why not get them a reading checkup? And so we are super excited about this tool. We know that it will get the job done. It is definitely a beautiful start to putting a stop to all of this madness that came along with COVID-19 and school closures. And so we're encouraging you to do that. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. We will be here for a few minutes to hang out on the line if you have additional questions. I know there are some folks I encourage to hang out so we can chat a little bit. about what you're experiencing with your child, feel free to reach out to us via email, via phone, smoke signal, any of that stuff. And we're here to help you, okay? We are going to ask you if you have any additional questions. You can unmute yourself and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Unmute yourself. I like saying that. Unmute yourself.
Become the new
And
catchphrase.
let's see what questions you have or what comments you have.
Hi.
Hi.
Hold on, let me make it so you can see me.
Hey.
Hey. So first of all, I'm really excited about this program because I was concerned about the, just the lack of during this pandemic, and just kind of like the whole new routine and where the pitfalls may be. So I'm really excited that this program is being initiated over the summer to prevent reading loss. But I just want to clarify. So the reading levels that we normally get with CMS will not exactly correspond with the reading levels we get from this program, correct?
So you will not get a reading level. When you get the results of your child's quiz, you will not get a reading level. What you'll get is a grade level equivalency. And what those levels will do will tell you exactly where your child needs the most help and how much time what activities we can do and how much time to spend to actually grow, to strengthen that particular skill.
Okay.
So we don't want you to get caught up in
where she was then versus where she might be now.
Right.
It's not about that. It's
Absolutely.
about where she is now and where we want her to be when school starts.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
All right. Okay, thank you.
Anybody?
Thank you for that question. And your questions help us make the next session better, so we know exactly how to answer and what questions might come up. We can incorporate that into the presentation. And it's also helps us kind of figure out where we need to lean on our partners for more support and making this super plain, because we don't want to stress parents out. You all have been doing, all have been doing a tremendous amount over the past few months and beyond that, but then adding classroom teacher on top of that kind of, well, it wasn't always easy and it wasn't always fun. So we don't want to stress you out. However, we want to remind you again that the power to push the needle forward, you have it right there at your fingertips now. So we just want to find out what areas we can focus on and exactly what to do, right? Exactly what to do. That's always what I'm waiting on. Okay, I hear you talking about all this stuff. Tell me what I need to do. What do I need to do? How long do I need to do it? Ms. Dawkins has a hand raised.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm great. Okay, you will not see me because these curls ain't working right now, but if you can hear me, that's great. Well, first I want to say thank you guys so much for this. I did arrive late, and I think it was Miss Sonia who did answer some of my questions, so thank you. I have she answered my question about the multiple children. I do have a rising second grader and a rising fourth grader. Okay. My concern really with my third grader is because they, I was so stressed out about the whole EOG thing and the fact that they didn't get to do it. I know they did the BOG, but so I guess my question is, and I'm assuming that this would cover it if you guys are focusing on fourth graders as well. Comprehension is something, is that something like this reading checkup will kind of focus on as well? Because my children read, but I don't have time to go and ask, well, what was that book about? Who was the main character? Stuff like that. So is that something that's going to be part of the reading checkup as well? Or
absolutely, yes,
okay, perfect.
ma'am. So there are two quizzes in the reading checkup, and one is code focused and one is meaning focused. And once you get into it and start diving into it, and we start learning more about this together, we'll understand that the meaning focused is centered around comprehension. is centered around comprehension. We do understand that a lot of children fall in that category. They read fluently, they read very well, but then when you go back and ask them, tell me what you write about, or you ask them to take deep dives into the information, they're kind of, unable to do that to a certain extent. So yes, absolutely. There are code focused and meaning focused or comprehension focused activities in there. And the beautiful thing about it is you don't have to spend a whole 3 hours doing it. You don't have to spend a whole 3 hours doing it.
Nope. Remember my favorite part. If you got 20 minutes or 2 hours, 30 minutes or 2 hours, that's helpful.
Thank you, ladies.
Question. You're welcome. Thank you. Are there any other questions? These are awesome, beautiful questions. Comments? Yes, ma'am.
I was trying not to say anything. So I don't have children, but I'm an educator. And the program that I teach for, we started a summer school. It started, the children, well, it's only 10, but only 4 attended today. And those that know me, and I always say this, know how I teach, because my concern is always, I'm not sure what the next educator will be like. So I need to make sure that you have a firm foundation. So today, when I did a quick overview of the few students, I only had 4, and one of them was a returnee from my classroom. The other 3 weren't. And I did the overview, and because we had been out for so long, or because they didn't participate in the virtual learning, or whatever the reason is, whatever was taught to them, especially in the literacy component, they couldn't answer, they lost. And I am so glad to be able to share this when I go to work tomorrow with my kids, to get them back on track. And although they were not my babies directly, I'm still their educator for the summer. And it was like, I was almost in tears, because I'm like, oh my God, we have been out almost 2-3 months, and these kids are going, because I always have the rising kindergarten class. These kids are going to kindergarten, and in just a few months, and then here it is, the summer, they have lost all that they were taught during the school year. So I'm really excited about it. And although, again, I will probably get in trouble, but I am who I am. I cannot wait to implement this tool as a part of our literacy read aloud. I'm going to substitute. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to substitute the read aloud to do this particular program. So I'm so excited about that, to get our kids, and I can have more tools to reference our parents for Head Start. So
absolutely, yay! I'm about to start shouting in here. Because they are your babies. They are your babies, and thank you for caring. And my hands are yellow. I'm trying to figure out. Listen, I'm sidetracked. My hands are not supposed. My hands supposed to be brown. But anyway, thank you, thank you for caring, and thank you for sharing. And I want you to know, as an educator, that we are here to support you as well. Like, we understand what's going to happen. Like, what the potential for August, we know what that looks like already. And we are here to support you. So there's anything that we can do as an affiliate, whether it be through books, whether it be coming and talking with your families, anything that you need, we're here to support you with that. We are wholeheartedly 100% on board with this particular tool, because we are all about empowering families. And we know that it's important for, we know what the research says, but the difference between a child soaring and maybe not so much, or a school that's being ranked as a high performing school and a low performing school, lies right there within the family engagement piece. And not only will this tool help push our children further, catapult them, right? So they don't walk into that classroom in August 11 months behind.
Right.
When they left, but it'll also catapult our parents into a different level of engagement. They walk in the classroom knowing what questions to ask. They walk into the school building knowing exactly what their child needs. So when they run into, unfortunately, one of those educators who don't quite understand the importance of the parent in this partnership, right, and growing their child, they walk in with these tools because they know Miss Ellison put them on to this reading checkup thing that Read Charlotte launched on June 8th in the summer of 2020 to combat COVID-19 school closures and learning loss. And they walk in as a G. Are you serious? Yes, I'm excited. Woo woo.
Yes.
The point is to empower.
Yes.
You go, Miss Ellison. You get that shout out. Yes. Yes. I love it.
Okay. So it is 7:02, and we want to make sure that we respect your time because you all got to go get dinner ready and everything else. But just keep in mind that you can reach out to us. You can send us an email, Charlotte@affiliates. Miss Imani is going to put it in the chat. You can call us, 704-207-0640. You can send a smoke signal, and we'll see it. You can come visit us on the 27th at the Food Lion in Cambridge Commons in the parking lot. You'll see us handing out books. You'll hear us on the loud mic because we love to talk in the microphone. You'll see our computers set up on the curb. If you know families that need a reading checkup and they're in the area, send them to us. We'll help them get started. You know families that need books, send them to us. We'll help them get started building their home library. If they need material to help execute these beautiful activities that Read Charlotte has put together for us, send them to us. We got toolkits for them. We're not playing with COVID-19 or her school closures or her learning loss.
Well, do you donate? What, can you give me some books?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I go to Target and I'm like,
No, don't go to Target. Come to us. We got you. Send us an email, Miss Ellison.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. There was another young lady that wanted to talk about reading levels. We're going to hang out for a few minutes. The rest of you, thank you so much for your time. We do not take for granted that you gave us an hour because we know how precious an hour is. We don't take that for granted. We believe in you. We believe in your children. We believe in this tool. And we look forward to speaking with you and to seeing you on the 27th at Cambridge Commons Food Lion. Have a good
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Dr. Hunt and Miss Imani. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Saturday. Hey, Madison.
Okay, I wrote this down at 7 o'clock, so I only got the last 5 minutes, but it sounded really great. And Sonia will fill me on the rest.
Yeah.
Congrats, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Awesome job, guys.
Thanks, Ursula.
Ursula.
Were you driving the whole time?
Yeah, well, she was
Well, I was driving and then I just parked in the driveway and I should have just went on and got to step out. It's pouring down raining.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at because the trees were moving so hard and beating my window. I was like, what is happening? Kind of scared me. So it must be on its way here.
It is.
But I have rainy day. I have rainy day hair, so it's not a big issue.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Cool.
And hello, everyone. You all look so beautiful today. After a long, hard day of work, it's just, it's just so rejuvenating to see all your beautiful faces.
Why, thank you.
Especially
Madison, how are
mine.
your babies?
What?
How are your babies?
Especially mine.
I just put her to sleep, but I did just hear her door creak open and my husband ran back there, so who knows what she needs. There's always at least one pop back out after we put her down.
You know that constant thing of, I need to tell you one more thing.
Yes, one more thing.
Like 5 more times.
Yes, can I have water? Can I get a stuffed animal? I'm like,
yeah, I gotta tell you something. Let me think about it. Yeah.
6. Let me see if I can find that young lady that was asking.
I was looking for that question. I didn't see. I saw the first one that we had.
Oh, could you type in the location again and the date for the curbside? Because I will definitely be there. And I'm also going to give the information to my principal and the dean of students so it can go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the alarm was on. It's fine. Good morning.
You okay?
Can you say heart attack?
I know. I saw your face. That's why.
Would you hear the wind?
This was in the building.
You hear that rain? Oh, Lord Jesus.
June 27th.
It's crazy out there.
Oh,
Boy. Commons, Food Lion.
Well, I ain't got to go to my mama's house. It's raining now.
Her house not closed.
All right, guys, it's 7:07. I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes. I think everybody's gone though.
Yeah.
Okay, I am putting this in the chat. It's the Food Lion at 7920. I think that's right. Yes. Cambridge Commons.
Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cambridge Commons Drive.
All right, you all.
And it's from 10 to 11. Okay. Elsa?
Got it. I will be there. And then that way I can give the information to my principal and to the dean of students. So it can go out to the Connect Ed.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.